You are Socrates. You are 60 years old. You own nothing. You charge nothing. You want nothing except the truth. And that, as it turns out, is the most dangerous thing a man can want in Athens. It starts on a Tuesday. Well, not a Tuesday. They don't have Tuesdays. But you know what I mean. You're walking through the agora and you see him. Politician. Fine robes. Crowd around him hanging on every word. The kind of man who has never doubted himself for a single second in his entire life. You tap him on the shoulder. He turns around expecting admiration. You give him a question instead. You ask him what he thinks justice is. He answers confidently. You ask a follow-up. He answers again, slightly less confidently. You ask another. His confidence is visibly leaving his body. The crowd is watching now. Then you ask the one that finishes it. If this is your power, what are you without it? He opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. The crowd is very quiet. He points at you and tells you to stay away from him. You nod politely and walk away. This is your morning. You don't do this to be cruel. You do it because something genuinely bothers you. Everyone in Athens walks around absolutely certain they understand justice. Courage, wisdom, beauty, love. But when you ask them to actually explain it, they can't. And you need to know why. You need to know if anyone actually knows anything, or if everyone is just pretending. Turns out it's mostly pretending. The oracle at Delphi calls you the wisest man in Athens. You find this extremely confusing. You go around for weeks testing it. You talk to generals. They can describe battles, but cannot define courage. You talk to poets. They can recite beautiful things, but cannot explain what beauty is. You talk to craftsmen, philosophers, politicians. Everyone knows their specialty and nothing else, but speaks as if they know everything. And then you understand what the oracle meant. You are the wisest man in Athens, not because you know the most, but because you are the only one who knows that you know nothing. Everyone else has that backwards. This is a wonderful realization and also a deeply unpopular one to share. Your wife Xanthippe tells you regularly that philosophy pays nothing and she is correct. Your home is simple. Your meals are simple. Your clothes are whatever is available. You don't care. This is either wisdom or stubbornness. Possibly both. Xanthippe has a strong opinion on which one. But something else is happening around you that you didn't plan for. Young men start following you, not because you teach them answers, because you teach them to question. Plato is one of them. Quiet, sharp, writes everything down. You like him. You tell him once that the unexamined life is not worth living. He writes it down immediately. You don't think much of it at the time. The politicians think quite a lot about you, though. Not in a good way. You've been publicly embarrassing powerful people for decades. The general who couldn't define courage. The politician who couldn't define justice. The poet who couldn't explain his own poem. These men have long memories and shorter tempers. They come for you on a Thursday. Again, not a Thursday, but that kind of day. Two officials with a scroll. Charges. Corrupting the youth of Athens. Impiety against the gods. You read it. You hand it back. You thank them for delivering it. They were expecting something more dramatic. Your friends beg you to leave. A ship can be arranged. You could be in another city by morning. You sit with that offer and you feel nothing but no. You've spent your whole life arguing that a man must live by his principles even when it costs him. Running now would be the most spectacular contradiction imaginable. The trial is 500 jurors. You stand in the center of the court under open Athens sky and they read the charges. And you listen patiently. Then you speak. You don't beg. You don't apologize. You explain yourself. You tell them you are not corrupting youth. You are teaching them to think. You tell them that a city which kills its questioners is a city choosing comfortable lies over difficult truth. You tell them that you are like a gadfly on a horse, annoying but necessary. And without you, Athens will grow slow and stupid and not know why. The jury does not take this especially well. They offer you a chance to propose your own punishment. Exile, perhaps. Something reasonable. You think about it for a moment. Then you suggest that Athens should give you free meals for the rest of your life as a reward for your service. This goes over exactly as well as you expected. Guilty. Death. You walk to prison more calmly than anyone who has ever walked to prison before or since. Your friends visit. They weep. You find this genuinely puzzling. You've spent 40 years teaching that death is nothing to fear. Now that it's here, you feel exactly as you said you would. Fine. Crito comes with an escape plan. Guards bribed. Ship waiting. You shake your head. You explain that a man who spent his life upholding the laws of Athens cannot now escape. Those laws, because they became inconvenient. Crito does not agree. You don't change your mind. Your last days in prison are, by most accounts, your best teaching days. Students sit on the floor of your cell. You discuss the soul. You discuss what happens after. You discuss whether anything actually ends. Plato is in the corner writing everything, down with tears running down his face and a steady hand. You notice and give him a nod. The morning comes. A guard brings a cup, hemlock. Your friends are all crying. You look at them with the patience you've been practicing your whole life, and you ask them why they're upset. You thought you all agreed. Death is nothing to fear. They cry harder. You shake your head gently. You drink it, calmly, no hesitation, as if it were morning water. You lie down. The sunlight from the small window is warm. Plato is still writing. You close your eyes. Athens continues the next morning. The agora is busy. Merchants are selling. Politicians are talking. Life moves on the way life always moves on immediately after something important happens. But Plato keeps writing. He writes for 50 more years. He builds a school called the Academy. He teaches students who teach students who teach students. Everything you said, every question you asked, every conversation you had in every marketplace and street corner and prison cell gets written down and copied and debated and read. The men who killed you are remembered mostly for killing you. You are remembered for everything else. You spent 40 years asking questions nobody wanted to hear. You died for asking them. And then the next 2,500 years proved every single question worth asking. The unexamined life is not worth living. You said that once in passing. Turns out the examined one lasts forever.